That worked out. What's up? Hello, Melissa, North Carolina prospectors. What's up? Laura, how are you? Katie, how are you? Red Squeak, good morning. I forgot to clean my bench today. Oh well. So we are going to do some camera testing today while we're active here. So this is my normal camera. This is a alternate camera. Now I still have to adjust the, where it sits and the placement, but what I am looking for is the clarity, the color a little bit. That's a different view. So this is an alternate new one. And of course we got side view. But for right now, we are not doing the, we're not doing the triple view at the moment. I could probably fix this coloring a little bit, I think. Hi, Groves. How are you doing? So, yeah, that is a newer view. That's a different camera. Then this one is my normal. And you can definitely tell there's some contrast difference there. That's a little editing. That shouldn't be a problem. And then this is a different view. I thought I might try it this way too. This might allow the text and the chat to show up a little better. I'm not sure. But considering it comes from bottom up, that may be a better option. All right. I don't think any of them look bad, though. Let's pull out the marbles that we did last night. They're in the kiln. I ran them through the kiln one more time. Now, I don't mind after you temper these things a few times, you can let them power cool outside. I never have an issue. So we're going to bring this out, pop it there. Ooh, but you know what? Sitting on carbon's a bad idea. 1 second. I forgot about that. Let me see if I got a little handy dandy glove nearby. Well, shoot. I don't. That's a little bit of an issue. I want to power cool these. Oh, I could just put them on here. We'll just put it on some lathe tape. There. We'll pop it on there. So this is lathe tape. It's basically Kevlar. And it is super durable for heat. Set it there. It'll kind of burn the Kevlar, but that's okay. That'll be perfectly fine. All right. Yeah, burning the Kevlar is not a problem. But let's take a look at what the marbles look like. Oh, crap. I don't even have my flashlight. Stephanie took it. Tell me I have a backup. Tell me I have a backup flashlight in here. Well, shit the bed, Fred. Well, crap. Do I have one backup flashlight anywhere? I do not. All right, we're going to have to use my phone. We'll just have to deal with it. All right, let me show you the marbles from yesterday. Let's go ahead and get this hot. We'll bring it into the side view. I'm pretty happy with them. I think they came out fantastic. All right, there we go. It's not going to be as nice, but you can kind of see the amber purple popping through there. Then we got the shimmer running through. There we are. Anyway, there is the amber purple. And then this guy. This one came out pretty wicked. I'm very happy with this. Kind of has this candy apple amber purple center in there. And then we got the yeah. Then the amber purple top. Let me let them cool off. I'll find the flashlight. We'll go from there. I'll find one. I really thought I had a backup here, but I apparently do not. That's okay. They definitely look like galaxies, Cheryl. Dragonfly. Good to see you, Dragonfly. All right, let's go back to... Yeah, we're going back to normal. Let's try this view for a little bit and see how that works. We did produce this color yesterday. This is that really uranium shimmer. So we have the uranium shimmer, and it looks awesome. Let me text Stephanie and see if she can bring me my damn flashlight. Okay, we are going to be making a special couple marbles tonight. And I have to make these cat's eyes. So I got to try and get as close to these cat's eyes as I can. I'm going to show you what we're going to attempt. This is going to be a little more difficult than normal. Oh, that's the... damn it, we got the filter on there. Looks all purpley. Crap. Let me see if I can bring it in normal view. Bring it down. Let's bring it right in really close. Thank you. So there's the cat's eyes. We're trying to match that cat. Let me see if I can bring it back outside view. Now we should be able to bypass the filter. Kinda. So it's a very golden brown green with some black. So we got to make a couple marbles in that version there. We're gonna try this scene. Okay. But first, we're going to knock out one of those hummingbirds in the really cool color. Sorry, I keep going to side view. I'm sorry, we'll be right up and running very quickly here. So this is that really sparkly green with the hummingbird, and we have the uranium base to it. So we're going to make a couple hummingbirds out of this and see what the hell we get. It'll give me a good chance to warm up, too. Let's go ahead and get going here. Here we go. So while I'm jamming on the hummingbird, if you guys have any questions for me, go ahead and put them out there, because this is kind of like easy mode for me. So this is a chance that I can actually answer some questions. Hey, J Dub, how are you? John's in the house. Hey, John. Leslie's here. 5150, how are you? All right, here we go. Let's rock this. So I'm going to do two of these birds. We're going to do one with the camera pretty far out, and then we're going to do one with the camera zoomed in. I do not have the triple camera setup enabled right now. I am going through a complete redo of all the cameras. I have like 5 cameras in here, and they're all over the place, and I feel like the Griswold family Christmas with cables everywhere, and I want to do away with that. So after this stream, we're going to be tearing it apart. I started doing it last night, which is why I didn't come back on. And then it got too cold. Okay, so when we add the frit on there, frit is a ground up glass like that. And it adds a little texture to it in the beginning, but we're going to melt all that in. I know exactly how they make eyes, but thank you for sharing. I'm going to be doing it artistically. The owner of the cat actually wants me to do it with artistic flavor. They don't want eyeballs. They just want colors. What's up? Okay, let's, well, we're just warming up with some hummingbirds real quick. This is kind of like my warm-up. Yeah, like in sports, you kind of stretch and get yourself all warmed up before tackling the day. This is my warm-up. This is pretty much easy mode for me, so it gives me a chance to just kind of get the fingers loose and get going. Okay, we're going to bring this down for the tail. Had my mushroom coffee this morning, so I'm all good. Do I use Banna's glass for your works? I don't know what Banna's glass is. I'm not familiar with that. All right, let's get this going. And we're going to start with the tail. After I put the tail feathers on here, I'll bring it over to the side view so you guys get a clean look at it. It's kind of an experimental color, so I'm not going to go too hard on it. Because you never know what it's going to do. There we are. All right, let's smooth that in. Let's take a look at what we've got so far. Now I got my flashlight back, so I'm hella happy. Okay, we got a little bit of kind of very clear shimmer, a slight green to it from the uranium. So I'm hoping this color gets a little bit darker as we go. A little bit of bluish to it as well. Huh. We'll see what the wing is where it will really tell me what it's going to look like. It's definitely going to have a uranium at least. What's up, Bayo? How are you? New York. New York Trader. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. New York Trader. How are you? Ocean. How are you? Good to see you in here. All right, let's get this pulled off here. This is for the head. And then we're going to put our little hook on it. Bring it down. Then wiggle that off. This part I hate right here. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. And it's broken off the tail and not the hook. Okay, I'm actually going to show you this. I see so many people making this issue, and I hate it. So see that hook? Now, most people think that's okay. Okay? I think that sucks. I'm going to show you a 2-second tip and trick here. We're just going to heat it up and just round it out a little. Like that. See how much cleaner that is? And it didn't take very long. It drives me nuts when people don't fix their work like that. You can have the most beautiful item and then this funky monkey hook to it. And to me, it ruins the whole piece. Okay, here we go. So we're making the wings right now. I don't do anything on my hummingbirds normally with tools. I like to freehand it. That's not to say that working with a tool is a bad thing. I just like this look a lot better. And it doesn't look like it's machine made. Okay, we're going to melt that in. We're taking our time with it. Sorry, I'm going really slow this morning. What's up, Daisy girl? Yeah, we're running slow mode. All right, let's see how this color looks on the wing. We definitely have a nice little shimmer to it. Unfortunately, that filter, the didymium, is kind of filtering it out, but you can see a little greenish hue to it. Let's go ahead and do wing number 2. Oh, thank you, Ocean. Yeah, I don't think it's perfectionist. I just think that, people overlook the little things like the hook. And bring it out. Kind of goes back to my days. So one of the jobs I had to supplement learning glass was auto detailer. So I did auto detailing to supplement my glass while I was learning. And in that business, you definitely have to have an eye for detail. And one of the things I noticed a lot of people missed in that job was the windows, especially the front windshield. If you didn't get the front windshield perfectly clean, the customer was never happy. The car could be perfect, have a perfect wax job and rims, everything looked perfect, but if the windshield was dirty, they were not happy. And I don't mean like muddy dirty, I'm just talking a little bit. Especially when you get those little foggy streaks in it. You know, the kind that are hella hard to take out. All right, we got the beak on there. Let's show you side view. All right, we got to get some eyeballs on here, though. We got to grab the glass for the eyeballs. Stephanie gets really upset if I make blind hummingbirds. She doesn't really get upset. I just never hear the end of it. Okay, let's put the little eyeball. And it's the same thing like the hook. You know, don't be lazy. That didn't take long. And yet it makes a killer difference. See, just makes a little difference when you got an eyeball on there. That color's looking good. Let's see if we got a little bit of the uranium showing up. Maybe on the tail. Yeah, it's starting to show up. While uranium's hot, it will not glow. So that wing is definitely cooling off right there. We got a little uranium popping in. It'll definitely be brighter later. But I am going to show you a difference in birds too. Actually, I'm going to put this in the kiln. Like that. Let me grab the... Maybe I brought it over. Did I bring you over? Let me see if I brought that birdie over. Do. Or did I leave it? Nope. Sorry, I know you guys can hear me at least. Okay, I'm going to show you the difference between tool-made bird and hand-sculpted. Both of them are beautiful. There's nothing wrong with either version. Okay, this is the tool-made. Now, this one I've been experimenting with some frosting on it. There. So we frosted that up a little. So this is the tool that we did that one with. Still very pretty. You can kind of see that matte finish instead of the full shiny version there. So I'm just kind of playing with this. Making one of these for groves and one for dragonfly so they have one on hand to copy. They have my permission to copy this. I'm going to show them how to work it. So let's bring the other one out so you can see the comparison. And then this is the hand sculpted. The color's obviously not the same, but... And then there's the hand sculpted. I still prefer this, but there's nothing wrong with the other version either. Well, I think for you in Dragonfly, it's ultra important to have a copy on hand so you can physically look at it and kind of have a judgment of size and everything. I think it's super important to have a physical copy. Yeah, it definitely has more details. Maybe we'll do a full comparison. Let me do one of these. We'll do one right now in my version with very similar color, and we'll put it on a handle like that one, and then I can physically show you the differences. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to grab some cobalt real quick. Uh-oh. So if you ever have frit that's like a white color and you start doing this and you got your cobalt nearby, you don't want to have it. See, I already have a problem. I messed up. I'll show it to you. I can fix it, but I'll show you why you don't have that nearby. I'm going to have to throw away some frit now. And then we're going to run right into the cat's eyes after this, the 2 marbles that I have to do. So I ended up hitting that, and a little piece of cobalt flew off that rod. I don't think it's going to show. And it flew into my white frit there. But if you're not careful, you go to make it. See that little piece of cobalt floating in there? If you go to make that, and you get a little tiny chunk of blue in there, you just ruined your whole piece. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this amber purple, we're going to cover the cobalt, turn it into a useful rod to make the hummingbird out of. You're going to hear it crack, snapple, and pop too. And it's not a big deal, because I didn't warm this cobalt up ahead of time, so it's definitely going to crack. But once I start pulling it back into a useful rod, everything blends together. So this will definitely be a custom bird. Oh, hear it? I don't know if you heard that. It definitely said, "I'm angry." Let's bring it up. I'm in slow mode today. Hope you guys are okay with that. See the big crack right there? We got that right there. That's where it cracked. So when you end up finishing the pull down here, and you get to that, if you don't preheat that, it cracks. Look at the colors we got coming out already, though. That's what we're going for. So mainly I wanted to show that to any new glass blowers or lamp workers that are out there and you have this happen. Don't panic. It's A-okay. The world will be just fine. All right, set that off to the side because I'm going to use it for another pull. Let's add the last of this amber purple. Man, this is getting hangry. Ooh, it's mad. It's acting like I stole its parking spot in a busy mall. There we go. So we're just kind of buzzing this down. And this is layering one color on top of another. And it's basically going to give us a awesome combination. I highly encourage people that are new to this to experiment with these type of things and learn to do this, because it saves you a lot of money, but also, what's up, Wendy? It also gives you a really neat color option. So you can do things that aren't standard, and it sets you apart, especially if you're in like a street fair or something. There's another glass blower there, and you have to have a little different look. If you have a custom color, it's definitely a different look. But most importantly, what I did here is I took this color, the cobalt blue. Now this one I think cost me $12 a pound. And now the amber purple's $100 a pound. So basically I was able to create a very cool effect with an amber purple look to it and reduce my output as far as, you know, how much it costs to make this item and still have a really cool color. So between the two, with how much amber purple I put on there, this particular color will have ended up being maybe $30 a pound relative to the proportions that I used. Okay, we're going to pull this down just a little more. Okay, let's bring it out just a little bit more now. Now this side, I'm going to pull it very, very thin. We're going to take it way down because this will be the part I use for the tail. And while I have the opportunity, I'll just make it thin. We'll give the glass the Ozempic treatment. Okay, I think we're good to go. So let me show you the color that we just created. And side view. So there we are. So you can definitely see that cobalt busting right there. But now look at the colors we created. So we definitely have the difference right there. And we're going to make the bird off that. It's going to look absolutely freaking awesome. Sorry, this is hot as hell. I can't grip it the way I want. There we are. So cobalt, amber purple over cobalt. Beautiful combo. So we're going to make a birdie out of that. And then we'll compare the two styles. We're going to make that one a plant stake as well. A lot of people use this metal for plant stakes. I hate using the metal. It doesn't really bond the same. It will eventually crack. Number one. Number two, if you have a problem and the bird wing breaks or something, it's much harder to fix that versus having a glass plant stake. I can just fix it right away. All right, we're going to zoom in on this one as promised. Let's go ahead and bring in the view. There we go. So this way you get a lot better view. I definitely make dragonflies. Downswept wings, absolutely. We can change the wings easy. Yeah, changing the wings is like super easy. Oh, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Yeah, we definitely make dragonflies. If you go and look at some of my previous content, you'll see some dragonflies. I think I titled them that way too. No, no Playboy Bunny. That is definitely a copyright. And trademark. Wanted to get a purple dragonfly? Yep, we can do that. We can make it happen. All right, let's go ahead and roll this into the frit here. I forgot I put it way over here. This thing is like floppy. Look at that. So if you ever wanted to learn what it feels like to do this, go get chopsticks. Next time you go get Asian food, grab some chopsticks and then purchase a little bit of molasses. Scoop the molasses up on your chopstick and spin it. It's about the same consistency. You're doing a couples glassblowing experience? That's awesome. That is fantastic. I'm happy to hear that, Bear. I think people doing experiences are absolutely awesome. All right, so this is what it looks like with the Chunky Monkey frit on there. Looks like rock candy. That sounds like a cool experience, Bear. I'm happy that you're doing that. I hope you have a fantastic time and the people that you're experiencing that with let you do a lot. Okay. Let's get this all melted in. So what I did is I just melted in all that chunky glass on there. I like the frit because it still allows a lot of clear glass to show through. I hate things that are full color. Not hate, but I don't like them. They're not my style on that. Not all the time. I always think it should have a glass approach to it. All right, this is my guideline for the tail. And when you're making this, if you bring it out here, you can see it's got a little bit of a kink right in the middle of that line. It's not perfect. It doesn't have to be when you're doing this portion of it. Now, in the end, if it was crooked, I would have a problem with it. But for this, this tail section is going to move around a lot. It's actually going to bounce around a hell of a lot. So let's go ahead and get this built on here. And you don't straighten it till the end. That's where the important part comes in. There we go. Fuse that in. Yeah, let me know how it goes, Bear. Let me know what it was and where you went, especially. I'm always trying to find places that do glass experiences for people so I can refer other people to their location. I'm trying to organize a network of glass blowers that will do it. Currently. And we'll, so usually it's about $250 a person to have a full experience. It's about 2 hours, roughly. And like when I did them, my maximum size was 4 people at once, but then I would extend it 4 hours. So it's roughly, 2 people, 2 hours. I forgot we're doing it differently here. All right, we got that color bouncing through. The tail's looking really good right now. I see we go from normal cobalt to that. Isn't that a pretty color right there? Let's go ahead and end that. Do I use gas for the flame? Yep. I have a pet dragon. See all the white hair on me? Secretly a Targaryen. All right, let's get this all centered on there. Sorry, I am going really slow today. All right, let's go ahead and burn this off for the head. So the other reason I like having the glass, basically the plant stake on there, and I'll show you why after we're done with this one. Because when I do the flowers, we can go ahead and, sorry, I got to find this color. There it is. Are you cold? Not the best way to check it. That's why I was checking it. Is it cold? I'm grabbing it. So anyway, if you got a vase with a flower, like one of my flowers, I think it's really helpful to put a little bird in there with it so you can have it glass on glass. All right, we're going to go ahead and kick this on. Let's go ahead and do the wings. We'll expand the wings out a little bit. We're not going to do the standard look to it. I forgot who mentioned it, but we'll flare the wings out a little bit. We're not going to do the downward look all the way, but we'll go ahead and bring it out sideways a little. Create a little bit of a alternate view. That way. Could a jar be repaired? It depends on the jar, to be honest. If it's not the same type of glass I use, no. Not for me. All right, so there we got the wing. You notice we kind of brought it down a little bit. It's not all the way straight up and down. Then we got the colors bouncing through there. We got that beautiful blue rocking through there. Be careful driving, Chris. Nah, mods aren't asleep. It's all good. Nothing needing to be modded at the moment, really. Not too much. All right, let's go ahead and do second wing. And here we go. Just got to balance it out. There we are. We might be too far out. I just noticed that camera's pretty far. About there. Okay. Go ahead and add the beak on here. I have nice nails. Thank you, Rachel, but actually not. I'm terrible with them. L to the B, thank you. They are like really crusty from getting jammed up with stuff. But thank you. The camera must be filtering it out very well. Either that, or it's because I'm constantly melting them. They do get a little melty. They definitely get a little melty. All right, let's put the eyeballs on here. No, I don't bite them. I definitely don't. I definitely use a trimmer for that. Although I was watching that new show, what is it called? My Strange Addiction. And I had to stop watching it because someone eats toenails. I was like, okay, that's my limit. No more. I can't do that. Not watching that. Let's get that straightened out. I was like, that's my limit. Thank you, Bear. Yeah, I do actually make micro art. I don't do it all the time, but yeah, we definitely do micro. I'll show you a piece here in a minute. And here we go. So this is the standard hummingbird that I do. I did pull the wings down a little more. So we brought the wings way, way down. But that is the standard hand sculpted bird. And then we have the one with the tools. Ooh, shit. Crap. Swear jar. And then this is the one with the tools, which is still beautiful. I think it's still elegant, but this is all made with tooling. So much different right there. Ooh, look at that green. Wow. Does this have uranium? No. I don't know why that's green, but that is beautiful. I just noticed that. Versus that. So those are the two different styles. And as I said, I don't have a problem with either one. I prefer the hand sculpted, but yeah. What's up, Dwayne? It's been a while. Dwayne, how you doing, my friend? Everybody on TikTok say hi to Dwayne. He's been a huge supporter of this channel for a long time. You tried resin? Resin's hard. Resin is definitely an art form. Yeah, definitely. Resin is a kick butt. I like resin art. I think it's amazing, actually. All right, let's bring this out. Doing good. Awesome. Thank you, Rachel, for doing that. All right, let's see if these marbles are cooled off, and let's check them from yesterday. All right, they're pretty cool. So these are the ones we did last night. Oh, thank you for saying hi to Dwayne on YouTube. I appreciate that. The Bob Ross of YouTube is doing really well. Thank you. All right, here we go. This is from yesterday. Now look at that. And let's go to the front view. Then we're going to bring it out this way. Look at that one. Remember I was saying it looks like it has air bubbles? That is not an air bubble in there. That is the electrum itself. It just creates this funky look to it. All right, ready for the cool part though? 3, 2, 1. So we added that in there. So we got all the uranium buzzing around. Oh, look at that. All right, we're going to check the other one. Again, sorry for taking a minute, but I like showing this stuff. This is the one from yesterday too. We got a nice little purple. I didn't want to go too much more purpley on it. I like that green-purple contrast. There we go. And you can see that kind of, I swear it almost looks metallic-y. And I don't know if it's going to glow. Oh, it does. So we got the full-on uranium with it too. Yeah, that is pretty sick actually. I like it. Thank you for entertaining my moment of showing that stuff. I appreciate you being patient. Let me switch out the view. Yeah, both of them came out really good. So I said I was going to do the cat eye real quick, but we have all this extra glass again. So we're going to make a quick, we are going to make a quick marble with the excess. So we got the cobalt blue and shimmer uranium green. I think that's it for little shorties. So we're going to take this and we're going to make a marble out of these guys. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we're going to sure as hell try. Let's go ahead and do it. How's everybody doing today, too? Wednesday treating you well? Please tell me you are doing good. I hate it when people are having a hard time. I really genuinely like it when people are doing well. All right, we're just going to have to wing it. Let's go. Doing good, surgery day? Well, wishing you the best of luck on surgery, Mike. Doing okay? Not doing well? Let's see if we can make your day a little better. I don't know any really good jokes right now. I'd tell you a little joke, try and cheer you up. Let's grab a chunky monkey right here. Little chunky rod. Feeling good today? Awesome. We're going to make just a random marble. I have these little bits of color floating around here. So we're going to take it. I usually call these end of the day marbles, but since we're in the morning, can't really call it an end of the day. Okay, so we're going to take that, we're going to compress it together real quick. And then we're going to add the colors. Here we go. AVR has a good price on. I don't know if I would do seconds on Amber Purple Groves. Amber Purple, I would not buy seconds of. Odds, yes. So, Red Elvis or Amber Purple, anything that's kind of striking like that, I don't think I would do seconds on. So Grove's Glass Gallery was asking about color from one of the color companies. And they have different grades. They have first run, which is perfectly straight rods, roughly in the 7 to 8 millimeter size, preferably 7 for them to be first run. And the color's perfect, no air bubbles, no flaws. And then they have another grade that they consider a downgrade, but I consider it an upgrade, which is called odds. Odds are perfect color, but the shape is a little off. So it could be 10 millimeters on one end and taper down to 5 on the other. So odds are really good. And then you have seconds where the color is way off, or they have stones or air in it. They're good for practice if you're not familiar with colors. Now, for me, they consider odds a downgrade from first run. I consider odds a upgrade. And the reason I consider odds an upgrade is because usually the color gets pulled and it's off in diameter because it's a little bit denser for color. So when they get to the bottom of the crucible that they make all this color out of, it's about 35 pounds. It's a big, gigantic crucible of color. And as they start pulling it from the bottom, the metals that make up the colors, like cobalt oxide or chromium or gold, they tend to sink to the bottom from gravity. We're making marbles right now. So when they sink to the bottom, the color becomes a little denser, like a richer version of that color. And that, but when they pull it out, it creates these funky shapes. I prefer the funky shapes. All right, we're going to gold fume and trap this. So let's bring this in a little closer. I'm working very slow today. I'm just kind of working slow. No, flame doesn't get hot. You know, you can grab the torch like that. See? Not hot. Now this torch is the only one that does that. This brand, you can do that with it. All right, oops. Now that rod's hot from sitting in the kiln. All right, we're going to add the gold on here. So we're going to take a little tiny chunk of gold and we're going to fuse it onto this little clear bicone chunk here. Like that. Yeah, that was a little warm. So let me show you on the side view what we got going on. So we just colored it with gold. This is gold makes pink and cranberry. Pink, cranberry, and a little purple. But you can see we have a little bit of that pinky gold going. Now I put a heavy version of it on here. So we got a little bit of that orange look. But you can see where we're starting to get that cranberry look. So before we do anything further, though, we're going to take a little borax laundry soap. We're going to trap the borax on there. It's going to change the color up again. It's going to enhance it a little. Oop, drippy. Goes a little drippy. It's going to kind of give it a rainbow effect. I'm giving away all the damn secrets for free. I've got so many glass blowers mad at me right now. I really don't care, though. So now, see how we just changed the color? Look at that. Totally different color. So, we even got a little green in there. Look at that. All right, let's go ahead and trap that. We're going to trap it with clear and uranium. And let's go ahead and do that. We're going to grab some uranium glass and we're going to trap it. I happen to have a little uranium right here. That's what these shorts are good for. Nope. Oh, I have citrine. We're going to use that. We're going to use a little citrine. I'm going to leave it on the side view for the moment so you guys can see a little bit different action going on. So trapping the gold, you don't want to hit the actual gold item in the flame. You want to not burn the gold off. And if you buzz this in the flame, you will definitely burn it off. All right, this is getting really short. All right. That got a little short. But now you can see we hobnailed it on there with the uranium. Okay. So we got all the colors bouncing through there. Let's go ahead and show you visually where we're at. So now we got that greenish glow with the gold behind it. Now we're going to do some clear. Going to pop it back out. This is actually going to be a cool marble, I think. I think it'll look good. So we're going to put a little clear in there and trap the gold that way. And then anywhere there's not a marble, that gold is going to burn off. No, the flame doesn't blow up the other piece. We're perfectly fine here. Have a good one, Melissa. Enjoy. All right, let's go. We're going to add in some clear dots here. Don't need big ones, just little dots. Now, oddly enough, if you wanted to get a really cool green, you would take cobalt and put light cobalt on top of this gold. And you'll end up with a really unique green. Okay, that is the last of that. We'll bring it out so you can see. And boom. There we are. So now we got the clear and the uranium trapped, and we're going to bring it all together. Then we're going to add the other two colors on. Let's bring it back out. If the flame blew the borax, oh yeah, the flame did blow it up. Yes. No, I did not touch it physically. The borax got vaporized. So yeah, sorry. Sorry, I got an itch there. Really neat. Well, yeah, I agree, Dragonfly. You and Groves both. We got to do a master class on how to fume for you guys. I'll give you both the long version of it. All right, so what we're doing right now is we're just kind of getting it hot. We're going to push it together and give it a small twist. Then we're going to take the other colors that I was saying we had it for the end of the day, and we're going to cap those other colors on here. Meaning we're going to put one on one side and one on the other, and kind of create a multi-marble. Yeah, let's bring this down a little. Do I have ventilation? Of course I do. If I didn't have ventilation, I'd be passed out, right? There we are. Now we got those colors bouncing. Look at how pretty that is. That uranium looks really good with gold behind it. And then we got the other clear with a little pinky behind it. All right, I got to move this. I got to move this borax. It's driving me insane. I've almost knocked it over 5 times. All right, so we're going to grab that cobalt or amber purple and blue combo, and we're going to cap the end of this one last time of showing this. So we're going for that color on the end cap, so that kind of cool blue. Citrine is uranium. Citrine is a uranium base color. So there's ion, there's uranium, and then there's citrine. And Illuminati. So yes, it is uranium. Just a different shade of it. It's actually my preferred shade. I like the citrine a lot better than the ion. All right, let's add this up here. And let's cap it off. And here we go. We're going to use this all up too. So I kind of want to have this uranium and gold, I don't know, funky marble look in the middle. We're going to put the cobalt and funky swirl on the end, and then we're going to do the shimmer on the other end. A little bit more. Squish it in. Don't do it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start getting it round here pretty soon, but I want to show you where we're at before we get it too round. So this is prior to what the marble looks like when we start to get ready to shape it into its round form. It kind of has a really funky design. Not everyone looks exactly like this, but you can see that blue is starting to come out right there. There. So we got the mystery blues going, the uranium, the gold. Let's go ahead and get half of this done. Thank you, Dragonfly. And we're going to pop back out because we want to see the marble mold. There we go. Maybe bring it in just a touch. Right about there. Okay, let's get going. Let's get it. While we got the setup this way, so this material right here is digidium. It is the material that's in my glassblowing glasses, and it filters out certain light spectrums. So we're going to bring it in, and I'm going to show you the borovision, like that. So now you can see how we take away some of the flame. If I kick down one notch, you can definitely see how it improves it. That's basically how I see everything. And then take that away. See the difference? Like that. That is borovision. Now let's get it done. Dolphins are gorgeous. Thank you. Yeah, they are actually kind of cool. I like making dolphins. I think they're fun. I like showing the process of how I do them because I do them completely different than a lot of people. My dolphins actually look like triangles when I start out. I know that makes absolutely no sense, but if you see it done, it will. Yeah, they look like triangles, to be honest. Do I make them on live? Occasionally, yeah. Especially if you purchase something. So let's say you purchased a dolphin wine topper. You have the option of having it made on live. We would have to schedule a time, but yeah, we can do it. You can watch your own dolphin being made. That's my channel. I'm not scared to do that stuff. I know a lot of people freak out at it. Okay, so we're going to take this shimmer color here. We're going to add it into the back end of this now I got dolphin on the mind. That's funny. We're going to take this color. We're going to add it in at the end. It's very metallic-y looking, but it also is very glowy. So this is definitely going to have some uranium to it. forbidden marble. I'd love to have you make a cremation piece, and we definitely do that too, Robin. That is one of my specialties. It will be making cremation piece here in a little bit. I have to make 2 marbles with the color of this cat's eyes. So we'll be adding the ash into that as well, into the marbles. We're going to try and match the cat's eyes perfectly. All right, let's go ahead and burn this off. Let's grab the shimmer and add it in. So this definitely has a lot of uranium to it. It's going to glow like mad. I'm kind of happy about that too. All right, we're going to grip it here and rip it. Rip it right into here. Grip it and rip it. Trying to get rid of these gaps in between here. I really don't want any air bubbles. No bubbles. All right, almost done. And pulling this off. And let's go ahead and get this all melted in now. Bring it in so y'all can see kind of where we're at. So there is the molten state of it right now. What's up, Alice Cooper? And you can see the, oops, look at the blues in the back now. Remember I told you it'd look awesome back there? So we got all that going. We got the uranium in the middle, and this will hopefully be very shimmery in the front. So we got multi-colors tiered on here. Sorry about that. I popped up in your feed. Awesome. How much do I burn each stream? I have no idea. I don't go through that much gas. I know it looks like a lot, but it's not. My equipment is very, very, very fuel efficient. I mean, I go through a like 5-gallon barbecue tank maybe once every 3 days, that much gas. It's not much. Yeah, I know that chef looks like me, but that's okay. He's a cool dude, so he can. All right, we're going to start going into the marble molds. So the marble molds are these down here. They are made of graphite, or basically uh, very, very high density pencil lead. Very, very high density pencil lead. Graphite. All right, let's go ahead and start getting that rounded out. See, this is the perfect size marble right here. This one's perfect size-wise. It's big enough you get some cool details in it, but it's not so big. All right, we're going to start shaping it out. So once you get to this point here where the marble kind of fits into the mold, you start moving down a little bit size smaller. And that's going to eliminate all the wobbles. Oh, this is perfect. I'm going to be able to show you the wobble. This is turning into a teaching class. I probably shouldn't. Here we go. So watch the lights reflecting off the ceiling, okay? So that little light right there. Now watch it jump around and move. See that right there? So it's smooth, splits apart, comes back. And they see them all splitting around and moving. There's how I can tell when I'm not round. And that happens on a bigger scale and a micro scale. So as I'm spinning it, you'll watch the lighting and you see it jump around. That is the indicator that it's very wobbly, or it's got a gap in it. So those are the things I'm looking for. I'm using a Glass Torch Technologies Kabuki. Kabuki. Okay, so we're just going to start trimming it down and getting it smooth. I appreciate that. I like my job. Yeah, I like my job a lot. I have the best job in the world. All right, let's see here. Hold on one second. Do I need to ban someone on here? Who did that? John, do I need to ban that person? Like, I don't mind doing it. Took a class from Kabuki. Yeah, he's awesome. He doesn't live too far from me. All right, so we're going to start getting it round. Yep, I am in Washington. I'm looking for Bigfoot. Hi, Sind. What's up? My gas bill's not high. All right, we're going to bring it over and just start getting it nice and round. And hopefully we got some kick butt colors in here. I was going to throw some opals in here, but it's too much. We got a lot going on. Got uranium, shimmer, sparkle, amber purple. There's a lot going on. Yeah, after I finish this marble, I'll show you one of the coolest dragons you'll ever see. Actually, I can do it right now. It's kind of a dragon. So there is kind of a dragon. We got the dragon dagger, like that. I'll pull it into the side view so you guys can see that a little closer. There. So there's a little dragon head. There's the detail in it. This is where you kind of hand carve everything. You got to carve it out. And then there's the hilt. So I did one side very shiny or matte, so it, has that, and then I did the other side shiny. Matte, shiny. So you could have it either way. Let's put that back. That's kind of dragonish. All right, let's get this. I think this side's rounded out. I've been dawdling with it long enough. It should be. Let's check it. All right, you guys ready for a little reveal? I love hot shots. Ooh, that definitely looks very freaking cool. And then there's the uranium and the gold fume in there. Wow, this looks way better than I thought. This looks way better than I thought it was going to be. Then we got the amber purple, which we will kind of burn off in the back end here. Yeah, I like it. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and finish the other end up. It does kind of have a galaxy look. Plus, that'll be full on uranium. It's definitely going to have that black light glow to it. So that's a little, it's on there, but it's attached but not fused. It's kind of stuck. And that is part of the way you get the marble off of the mold or off the stick. You have a very, very small attachment. We're going to pull that off and bring it out here. There. So we just have to get this little bit right here off. But we'll start to see the colors. They're not fully engaged yet. We're going to get it much, much more visually better. But we're going to change that up by a lot. And here we go. Just got to melt it in, burn off that haze, get it round. I don't know what your question was, Lowboy. Sorry. All right, we just got to get this round. So we'll go into this one, then we'll drag it over to the smaller one, round it out, and this will be done. No, I've not done 7 of the Dragon Balls. I have not. Yeah, we're good. Let me just smooth it out. It's done now. I'm happy. We're going to grab the marble holder made by Dragonfly Creation. If you are ever in the market for a marble holder, she is the one to go to. And it works incredibly well for Christmas ornaments. So this is the holder right here. So it allows me to grip the marble, and then we're going to pop it right off the stick. No, my glasses are fully enhanced. I'll show you temporarily just for a second. I can't hold it too long because I don't want to misshape it, but there you go. That's what they do. So this is the same material that's in my lenses. Where's this at? Didn't hurt to burn that off anyway. All right, got to wait for it to cool before I pop it off here. Okay. Then we grip it and then tap. And it leaves a little tiny punty mark in here. I do like showing this so you all can see exactly what we look at. I'm going to bring it right up to the camera pretty close. So right there, you can see that right dead center in there. There's a little tiny scar where the glass rod was attached. And then we just take a small flame, polish that out. Like that. And now it's all gone. Got to get it a little bit more around here. That way. All right, let's check our colors and see how we're looking, and then I got to pop it in the kiln. There we are. I told you that color would be kick-ass. Then we got the green. So we got a beautiful color transition there. Then that diamond shimmer like that. And the gold transitioning through. Yeah, this definitely has some good properties to it. Back of the kiln for you, buddy. All the way in the back. Let that amber purple soak up. Okay, I got to go take a 15-minute break. I drank a lot of mushroom coffee this morning, so I got to get rid of mushroom coffee. So I need a few minutes. And I'm going to go check on my mother, make sure she's doing okay. So give me just a few minutes, not too long. It's 11:51, probably no later than 12:30. I want to do the cat's eyes. I got to grab the glass for that too. So let me go handle that.